It's Sammy, Mario, for the second part of the finale of Phoenix Wright, Age Attorney. That was a really, really bad Italian accent there. I apologize to everyone. Anyway, welcome back to the second part of the finale of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. In the last episode, we talked to Chief Gant, and he now doesn't want to testify because he's a little bitch. So, we're going to have to talk to Lana Sky and get as much as we can get out of her. So, without further ado, let's finish this. So, Emma's on our side this time. Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you, but Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your evidence, Miss Sky, and remember you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Nobody keeps to that oath, man. You can swear to the Bible all you want, it doesn't necessarily matter. First, tell us about your relationship with Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Oh, scene fabrication. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. That's a lie right there. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago. That's another lie. See, these people, they don't follow the oath. When I found the prosecutor marshal's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motive was to get Doc convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Bullshit. Everything was a lie. Everything she said was a lie. My God, there's not that many. I've never heard some more lies in one bloody paragraph, bruv. She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly, it's like she's hiding something. Deep down, she's screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second guessing myself. Alright. So we know everything she just said was a complete lie. So first let's find out about this. I rearranged the crime scene. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems that I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor's award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? That's a lie. But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it was my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I will never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Doc? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Doc was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor, a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in a struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies, all just to protect me. So, when you found the scene, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes, I broke and planted inside the wound, then covered the body. That's a bit extended. You planted the tip of it and then moved the body? Wow, that's new. You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but I want to ask this. How do you do that? Come on, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out. Very well, let's add this to the witness testimony. I knew the tip of the weapon found would be the proof we needed. Okay. According to your testimony, Officer Marshall our broken knife was a murder weapon, right? Yes, and leaving it at that point the blame away from Doc. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be to having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body. Do you? You bury it inside. You buried it. Sorry about that. You buried it inside the victim's stab wound. Yes, because I hated Doc for what he did. My only motivation, nothing to do with Emma. So you rearranged the crime. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it, period. So why are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence? She doesn't want her sister to go down, but she's willing to die for her sister. I think that's a noble thing, but she's being an idiot about it. There's no way she could have done it alone. Gotta find a way to make her talk. Okay. And there's a weapon. Proof we needed. Nothing to do with Emma. Bullshit. What about the unstable jaw? Your Honor, that... Oh man, I got it wrong. My mistake. Okay. This had nothing to do with Emma. If we needed that moved the body. I think I have to press this button. I think we have to talk about why did you move the body. It was where you deduced it was by Chief Gant's desk, but the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witnesses explain in more detail. Okay, so that adds another part. Now I only have 3 lives left. Hold it! Hold it! Come on, what? Why is this not working sometimes? Piece of jaw, you mean? Yes, that wretched jaw Mr. Wright showed us earlier. In order to show that Doc committed the crime. When you first found the body, the jaw was already... Of course, it had been shattered into pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Doc was lying unconscious. In other words, the jaw must have been broken during their struggle. I see. That's not right. Huh? Wait, that's not right. There's something wrong with that. Because if the jaw was broken during the entire event, that doesn't make any sense. Then how would we be able to write it? Because when we put the jaw together, right? Some of the other parts of the blood spatter were on different parts of the broken jaw. It was only when we put it together that everything fits together. So it doesn't make sense that he would put it so the jaw would break and then he would put Emma's name on the jaw. It just wouldn't make any sense. So that's why I need to show that. I showed it at an earlier point to show that Emma was part of the crime. It did have something to do with it, but I guess I was wrong about that. Some contradiction within it. Bruv, there are enough contradictions in our testimonies, but like, this is the only one we can actually find some kind of evidence to. Or should I say, tie some kind of evidence to. That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's simply oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must yet have been broken before he died. Ah. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Yep, my point. Exactly. Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and in its bloody message. You may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony. Jar and message in the blood. I immediately noticed the traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were so large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Okay, so with this, there's no point pressing every single one of them because it won't help. Because she's just gonna mention that she did it, that she's the one that did it. But so I'm sure I got them all. I immediately just, but it was dark. I had to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were so large, so I'm sure I got them all. No, you didn't. You missed one. And that, oops, wrong thing. There was one part that was found by the chief and was in his safe. You couldn't have got them all. Either she's safe, but how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off them. Yes, which leaves us with one explanation. She got there before you. That makes sense. You couldn't the defendant have simply missed the piece? Nope. I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone the unnamed detective. That may well be, but everyone has mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha! Can you believe that? Well, that's what they're supposed to be. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that? There's no way he could have written a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gans at the time. He was looking for dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, oh man, Man, they keep. Ah, man, I talk too slow. I'm sorry. Well, Your Honor, can you answer that? What's that? Calm down, man. I was half expecting for the judge to go Super Saiyan like, no, they go crazy. And have like one of those crazy faces like every single other person does. David Gann arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jaw. He proceeded to break the jaw and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication. But why would Chief Gann do that? In light of what happened afterwards, it isn't clear what happened afterwards. Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And here's the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief puppet. We got her. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Women, I am trying to help you. Let me do my job, please. For God's sake. Wait a minute. What if we're still smacked down? Yep. Okay, this is part of the. I never got this on my first try, but this is. I never got this on my first try because they didn't think much when Phoenix said this might be part of Gant's trap. And ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get out of the trap. We're gonna escape it. We're gonna break through that trap. Easy. Might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Mr. Skye, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will if you tell the truth. Very well, I'll testify about what I really saw. Alright, she's on our side now. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on a suit of armor sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But it really was a fabrication. Emma might be innocent. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Oh, we have a picture. What are you talking about? Show the evidence again. It's the one piece of evidence she gave us this morning. The evidence law. There must be a picture somewhere. Here. Okay, so we can examine this, open it up. There's the picture. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No detective saw the crime scene like this. That's because I contracted criminal affairs only after I rearranged the scene. Mr. Wright, that piece cut out from his vest, could that be the cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe? What's this? Okay, I know what it is. That cloth, it has fingerprints on it. Whatever fingerprints those are, must be the real murder. Oh, now you just reminded me. Oh, they're yours. That's a thing. When I arrived, I found... Oh, what the hell? Sup, Gant? This is the poorest excuse of a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant? What? Now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. Oh, hell no! You already declined testimony. That means you forfeited the right to make any statements of the sort. This must be the wrist the judge was talking about, yep. Just sit back and relax. Enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your neck. Super Saiyan! Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Alright, guys. Exclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone does. Someone does. So then, what's your excuse, right? Okay, this is a part I've been waiting for this entire playthrough. It's the one part that fucked me over the first time. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. This is very important. Remember what Phoenix said earlier, that we're still in Gant's trap before the board of inquiries. What do I do now? I better think, though, carefully. So I present evidence. Alright, remember what Gant said. Remember what Phoenix said, we are still in Gant's trap. If we say show evidence, we are basically saying Emma did it. But no, we can't do that. If you press show evidence, you'll get an instant game over. Save here because it's something really cool to see. I'm not gonna do anything, but whatever. I'm going to say cannot show evidence. Don't show the evidence. It's important. Otherwise, you're gonna get a game over, and we're all fucked. Chief Gant, you opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's chest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut off for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, concealing evidence? This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the goal, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up for murder as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the scene of the crime. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky? I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant a knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When we rearranged the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. I did this before Lana arrived at the scene. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? Who do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make the police chief by dumb luck. Did you see this jaw fragment? You hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on the jar too? Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean the piece of cloth? Come on, Raito, cough it up already. Cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admitted that, Chief Gant. You were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do it. That was chief of it all. But it's a lot better to be being portrayed as a murderer. Well done, Raito. What do you have to say to yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Raito. You should have shown it then, before it was too late. It's been a long battle, but that moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess it up, victory is mine. Show evidence. It's time for show evidence now. Show the piece of evidence that's gonna end this case. Take that. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this victim on you had a piece on the victim's chest. Oh yes, at last you finally brought it out on the open. Yes, this handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecutor requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to have be left so clearly. You mean it could not be forged? It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho ho ho! You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Raito had all this time to present this evidence, yet he reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You already know. You know whose fingerprints are on that. Mr. Raito, do you really know? Whoever must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are there? Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Should be okay now. As indeed. I'm sorry, Emma, but why didn't you tell me? I couldn't tell you, man. It would have been too hard. You're really something, right? So, you mean this girl did it all along? you still tried to play the matter on me. So it's true, tragic but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall into his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Sky, you knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Sky, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid this is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. Bruh. 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 Let's stop boasting for a second. Stop roasting for a second, cause Phoenix is about to smash your ass back to your reality, bruv. Hold on, mate. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. That piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, that piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this flute blabbering on about? I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Yep, there's only one piece of evidence. If we look at the picture, it's soaked with blood. And as you can see, the blood gone all the way into the shirt where the piece of cloth is. Why doesn't the piece of cloth have any blood on it? Can you explain that to me? Huh? Guys, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out the blood on his vest. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured, blood pouring out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth. Wait, there's no blood on it. Ugh. Since Emma's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword. This is nonsense! Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground when it was knocked out. Sorry about that. So, not to destroy the kind of tensity of the scene, I decided to pause the game because I had something to do. Anyway, I'm back now, and we're closer and closer. I forgot where we left off. Then he broke the jar on purpose to leave behind a clue, and make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted to only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's chest? Vest? Ironic, isn't it? Though the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you are actually the murderer. I kind of want to take a screenshot of that, but that was kind of cool. Who's saying objection now? And now he's desperate. Okay, that was close, Righto. You almost had me. Huh? Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute all your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Order, order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Aji? Earlier, all Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse? Did you not hear what he just said? The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, a piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh on you, son. That's where you're wrong, mate. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, true. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems at last the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Do you admit to it? That you purposely and illegally conceal this piece of evidence? I don't know what to say here. No, I didn't. Wait a second. That you purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? No, I didn't know. I did not do that. Certainly, I refused to present evidence at one point. Aha, so the evidence is illegal. No. No, it isn't, Mr. Grant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Archie, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't let him. There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Oh, yes it is. Yes it is. Let me point you to the evidence law book. If you look at rule number 1, no, rule number 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case in trial. The reason we didn't show it the first time is because it wasn't relevant. Take that! This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book, the second rule of the evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be... Okay, blah blah blah, we know this. I found this piece of cloth evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have the approval from the police department. Rule number 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case in the trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cough and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No, he's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it a value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. I can't get his name right. Will I ever get his name right? Stay tuned. I probably won't. It's the last gate. It's the last part. So, yes, we made. Him himself made it valid by linking it to the case. He pretty much dug his own grave there. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest, and also he verified it because he's the chief of police. is the one who stood before prosecutor's marshal in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who that could be, Damon Gant. The killer was you. He's lost it. He's completely lost it. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department, trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you gotta help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. And all of a sudden, he had to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, sir, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He told me to open up the evidence room and take it out. It's not too late. I'll hand this to the marshal. To Marshall, I'm sorry. Well, to be honest, I was a little panicked too. I had a bad feeling about it, but never knew it would come to this. That's when I saw it, the accursed knife. You stabbed him in the back, literally. I couldn't just pull it out. You would only increase the amount of blood, and you couldn't finish what you started. Even so, the blood was pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I was wiping it out. I was worried. I was worrying about so much about the floor. I didn't realize my mistake. Except the gumshoes. Bloody handprint. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere. I guess I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry. We couldn't think of any other way to move the body. We broke the trunk, but what's the big deal? You pulled down a lot more than us detectives. What does this have to do with anything? You're horrible. How could you get Miss Sky involved in all this? Well, she had as much to lose as I if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I feel bad for having to do it. I couldn't sit around and pick and choose what to take. Well, you left a jaw fragment and gloves. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. Yep. Should have stuck to it. Should have just been chief of police, but you had to get your hands dirty. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, what are you doing in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it, you and me. What they say? Why does every villain, they always have to say to the protagonist, you and me are actually the same? They always have to say that. It's so stupid. One day you'll understand. If you want to take them on alone, you'll figure out what's needed. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Aji. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Aji. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. You see, if I listen carefully now, I can hear it right now. The sound of a new beginning. There are two things I want you to understand, yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years, from the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top. She actually smiled. Are you my thanks, Mr. Wright? Miss Sky? And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. Oh man, he was about to break down in tears. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it. I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky? Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder. However, though the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Alright guys, we did it. Took me a long while. I think it's been like 10, 11 parts. 10, 12 parts, I think. Why a long face? I'm sorry, your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a word to me. Hope I'm not interrupting anything. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Ah, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Lana. Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever felt panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I've always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Aww. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our path. And once we found our path, we can move on from our past mistakes toward a brighter future. At least, that's what I felt, looking at those two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe, me? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. Where was he hiding? I just came to say, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right, well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize that today that I can't change my own mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth? Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. It's scary, but I've been thinking the same thing for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows, given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like the Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime, but they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. That may be right, but think back to the day's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What's this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence? Then you... Oh, yes. Okay, I know this. It's the evidence list. You had the other part? And I had one part. The picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we couldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't happen by chance, Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, what happened in this trial can either make or break you as a prosecutor. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, Wright? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. I'd better get back too. Okay, I'll come visit you. It seems we both still have a lot to learn. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation? It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had that. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright, he's the one who be footing the bill. Huh? What? You think I could afford that with my salary? You gotta be kidding, pal. Huh? Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Since we're all here, why don't we all go together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Objection! So that, ladies and gentlemen, was Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. And what a let's play it was, ladies and gentlemen. My god, I started this let's play back in October, I believe, when Digimon finally finished. No, yeah, back in October or September, around that time, I started this let's play. And if I'm completely honest with you, I didn't feel like it was as good as it could have been. You know, for me, the entire playthrough, I thought the playthrough was going to be more interesting than it was. But it ended up being quite boring, quite lengthy, and I didn't even want to, some days I didn't want to record. But I've learned my lesson, and now, next time I do a Phoenix Wright game, is going to be blind. So, ladies and gentlemen, next time we enter the Phoenix Wright universe, we are going to be going into Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. A lot of people consider that to be the best Phoenix Wright game. Let's go ahead and see. But until then, this has been your main man Action, signing out. Peace.